நீங்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருப்பது உங்கள் அற்புத இயேசு டிவி, சென்னையின் முதல் கத்தோலிக்க சேனல்.
வணக்கம். என்னோட பேர் நெல்சன் ஆண்டனி ஜோக்கியம், அற்புத இயேசு டிவியோட ஃபவுண்டர். இப்போ நீங்க பார்த்து கொண்டு இருக்கும் இந்த வீடியோவை ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க நான் உங்களை ரெக்வெஸ்ட் பண்றேன். மறக்காம இந்த வீடியோக்கு கடைசியில் இருக்கிற அந்த அக்கௌண்ட் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு வேணும்னா நீங்க உங்களால முடிஞ்ச காணிக்கைய நீங்க தரலாம். நன்றி. உங்களோட அற்புத இயேசு டிவிக்காக நெல்சன் ஆண்டனி ஜோக்கியம். தேங்க்யூ.
Anvi and Brian, are you happy? Are you happy? We are also very happy. We are very, very happy to join you in this beautiful celebration of the sacrament, the First Holy Communion. Any of the Catholics, you just ask them, which was the first celebration that you remember that was done for you? Invariably every one of us will say, my First Holy Communion, because probably the first birthday that was celebrated we are not aware of, because it is also very beautifully celebrated these days. But the First Holy Communion is a very beautiful gift, and for you it happens during the festivity of the parish. So beautifully this parish is organized, the feast, and as a culmination of the feast, two of our children are celebrating this beautiful reception of the celebration of the sacrament. Today in the liturgy we are given beautiful concepts that can help us to grow in our Christian discipleship. All of us are disciples of Jesus. How to become authentic disciples and credible apostles? This is the challenge that is put ahead of us. The readings of today are beautifully chosen to help us to understand what is my role as a Christian, what is my role as a disciple of Christ, what is my role as an apostle of Christ. So we have to understand, as these little children, they are getting ready to receive the sacrament. We, the parents and the parishioners and people who support these children to grow in the faith, should understand what is the expectation of the church from us Christians. Now, we read beautifully the first reading. In the first reading, there's the interaction between Elijah and Elisha, a master and a disciple. Elijah is the master, and he chooses Elisha as he is working in the field, and he invites him for this particular task. And Elisha immediately says, let me finish up with all that I have been doing so far and clear it and get into this new life of discipleship. Now, in the second reading, St. Paul, letter to the Galatians, he puts two things that are contrast to each other. One is the pleasure of the flesh, and the one the spirit and the flesh. Now, how to understand this particular invitation of St. Paul? For the first time, the people who followed Jesus got the name Christians from the community of Antioch. The community at Antioch, they lived it so well, and they first called themselves as Christians, and from there we get the name that we are Christians. And a person who worked in Antioch, a bishop of Antioch, Ignatius of Antioch, his name itself is Ignatius of Antioch. He was captured by the emperor of Rome, and he was about to be executed. When he was traveling to Rome, he writes many letters to the different Christian communities, and then he strengthens them. He says, when he reaches Rome, he says, Rome, which was a great empire, known for commerce, known for law, known for war strategies, known for many things, he says, henceforth Rome will be known for the reign of love, a reign of charity, he says. So far, Rome was known for many things. Rome was the excellent empire for organization, for water management, for war strategy, anything you name it, they were the best. But Antioch, Ignatius says, henceforth Rome will be known for charity, love of the neighbor. In fact, it is very true. Now, for more than 20 centuries, Rome is known for the reign of love. The Christianity which took root there. Yesterday we celebrated the great feast of two stalwarts of the church, Peter and Paul, who shed their blood and made the church grow. Now these disciples, how did they live their Christian faith, and how are we invited to live the Christian faith? Now the gospel reading, Jesus beautifully gives us three important facets of discipleship. There are three incidents. They are moving towards Jerusalem, and in Samaria people don't want, they are hesitating or they are almost rejecting them. Then the two great warrior disciples, sons of thunder, James and John, they are asking, Jacob and John, they are asking, just shall we bring down fire and destroy these people? So in discipleship, there is one strong, let's say, facet, strong trait, that is muscle power. Muscle power. I have this power. Today, if you see anybody who's a thug, who's a dominant person, or who's kind of a leader, uses his muscle power to take control of. And these disciples, these apostles knew with Jesus, we are very powerful. So immediately they want to wage war. Immediately they want to punish. Immediately they want to show off. Let me show who I am. No, we also sometimes, when we are at loggerheads with each other, I will show him what I am. I will show him my strength. I will teach him a lesson. These are all our expressions, no? And see even how the world today will put one against the other. See, we pick up enmity with the neighbor. Even in the world of politics, the countries don't live in harmony. They create a kind of a tension always with the neighboring countries, and they put the people under pressure, saying that there is a war field, there is a threat, there is so many ways in which we put one against the other. Simple thing like a sport, a cricket match between India and Pakistan, the media will create as if there's a war. That every second you have to be on pins and needles. We never enjoy a game. We don't appreciate a person who plays well, even if it is in another team. We are always put against the other. The muscle power is not the Christian discipleship. Christian discipleship is brotherhood. Christian discipleship is sisterhood. Christian discipleship is living in harmony. That is what Paul says. You have to live by the Spirit, not by the pleasure of the flesh. That is the first thing. Jesus says, no, let us not destroy them. Let's move ahead. That's the first discipleship sign. To live in harmony, to live in brotherhood and sisterhood. The second one, there is a person who comes and tells Jesus, I will follow you wherever you go. Wherever is the word, that is the key word. Wherever you go, which means the fellow is totally available. It sounds really good, actually. But Jesus says, look, you are thinking that I am a very great guy, that so many people are following me. I have all this power and fame and popularity. In fact, I have nothing. Even the birds have their own residences. I have nothing. So the second threat to our discipleship is we live in some sort of popularity. We believe in being somebody important. We like to be in the limelight. We like to stay with somebody who is of a high reputation. We like to, if you go around the ministry, if you go with the MLA, if you go with a big bishop or cardinal, you will be identified, you will be recognized, you will become very important, you will also receive the honors that they receive. But Jesus says, my kingdom, my disciple is not of the world, that you also receive the honors. Instead, you have to give up, you have to let go, You have to sacrifice. You have to be ready for the cross. You have to be ready to shed blood. That's why he says, I have no place to lay down my head. So in Christian discipleship, we are not for fame or popularity or being highlighted as a person of honor, but a person to hang on the cross, the person to let go, the person to shed tears. That's the second part of discipleship. It is not the pleasure of the flesh. It is not you get a big honor. In fact, you get a sword, you get a cross, you are put in a tight corner. For being a disciple of Jesus, we may not receive in the world big honor and big praise and all this, but we will be put under pressure. We will be choked. We will be cornered. But Jesus says that is the way we will be disciples. And the third one, the last model for discipleship, two different persons. One person, Jesus says, you come and follow me. Then he says, no, I have to go and tell my parents and others. In the second person also says, I will go, let me go and bury my father. Jesus says, the one who touches the plow and looks back is not fit. In the third discipleship lesson, what is important? What is the lesson that is given to us? We have one more power. The first power I told you is power of the muscle power. The second power is power of popularity or power of fame. The third one, the power of blood ties, kith and kin. No, we are social beings. We have a family, we have a kind of a society or a community which really supports us and helps us to grow. But in course of time, the community, the blood ties or the group to which we associate ourselves can be a kind of not a liberating force, but an enslaving force. We could sometimes we hear, because even recently we heard that two people who got married, they were of a different community, and the same family members killed the boy. The same family members killed the boy for the simple fact that he got married to a girl who was of a different caste. It could happen for religion. It could happen for any social status. Sometimes this life-giving forces like blood ties can be a very forces detrimental to our life. So Jesus says you have to liberate yourself from these choking ties, blood ties or communities or even religion or even ethnicity. It could be language. Any group that chokes you and isolates you from the others is not a liberating force. It's not a life-giving force. It is not a Christian model at all. So Jesus invites us for a citizenship of embracing, all embracing, inclusive, not exclusive, not segregating, not discriminating relationship. An authentic disciple of Jesus will not put his trust in muscle power, will not put his trust in popularity, will not put his trust in choking blood ties. Instead, you place yourself totally at the service of the Master. My dear friends, as these little children are preparing for their First Holy Communion, I was reminded what to tell these children. There's a beautiful history. I'm sure you've heard about a saint called Dominic Savio. Have you heard about the saint called Dominic Savio? Dominic Savio was a little boy when he came into the oratory of Don Bosco. At the age of 7, at the time the children were given First Holy Communion, 11. But he got a special permission and he received the First Holy Communion. The day before, the previous evening, after all the preparation, he went home. He did something very beautiful. He just knelt and he called both his parents and knelt in front of them and he told them, today I made my first confession. I made my first confession and now I would like to tell you, please forgive me for all the sins and mistakes that I have committed against you, my dear parents. Please forgive me. and I do not want to repeat any of them. And I want to dedicate myself totally to God. And he writes down in his book resolutions. The 3 resolutions he writes. The first resolution says, I shall sanctify all the Sundays and the days of observation, the days of the solemnities. That is, I shall dedicate myself, I prepare myself for every Sunday. Then he says, I will make good confession. I will make good confession whenever it is needed. And the last one he writes, that was more striking. That became a kind of a motto of Dominic Savio, death rather than sin. He says, death rather than sin. At the age of 7, how could a child think of such a high thought? Death rather than sin. And Dominic Savio, we know, he died at the age of 13 and a half. And in this 3-4 years in the school of Don Bosco, the mother of Don Bosco identified and told Don Bosco, in your oratory there are many good boys, but of all of them, the very saintly person is Dominic Savio, because he spent time in prayer, he was helping his companions, he was very, very good. My dear children, you are beautiful, you are wonderfully dressed up, you are beautifully prepared. The best gift that we could give to these children is our faith. The best gift we could give the children is our Christian tradition. The best gift that we can give to the children is the catechism that we have learned and that we communicate to them. I remember, actually I should be thankful to Father Anthony Raj for inviting me for this beautiful feast. I was a little boy like Brian in this parish of Peravallur. We used to come here for altar boys meeting and just little excursion from Peravallur to Srinivas Nagar by walk. And then we go to Batamedu and then return. This was our little picnics that I'm talking about 35 years ago. I'm seeing this is totally transformed. I'm coming after 35 years to this particular place and I see so beautifully this church has grown. That is the gift that we would like to give these little children. Our faith, our Christian practices, our tradition, and our really lived model. It is not a model which is far-fetched. It is our day-to-day Christian living. The beautiful discipleship that we are instructed today by the Gospels. And Paul says, let love be the model. Let love be your trademark. Let love be your kind of face. Let love be the spirit that leads us. As we wish these little children, let us revive our own Christian discipleship. Let us not put our trust in the muscle power. Let us not go after fame or popularity or wanting to be in the limelight. Let us not get choked or locked or even into the clutches of my own family, my own caste, my religion, my whatever it is that can isolate us or separate us. Let us get into the universality of love, the spirit of love that is the center point of our Christian faith and Christian discipleship.
நீங்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருப்பது உங்கள் அற்புத இயேசு டிவி, சென்னையின் முதல் கத்தோலிக்க சேனல்.
வணக்கம், என்னோட பேர் நெல்சன் ஆண்டனி ஜோக்கியம், அற்புத இயேசு டிவியோட ஃபவுண்டர். இப்போ நீங்க பார்த்து கொண்டு இருக்கும் இந்த வீடியோவை ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கன்னு நான் உங்களை ரெக்வெஸ்ட் பண்றேன். மறக்காம இந்த வீடியோக்கு கடைசியில இருக்கிற அந்த அக்கவுண்ட் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு வேணும்னா நீங்க உங்களால முடிஞ்ச காணிக்கைய நீங்க தரலாம். நன்றி. உங்களோட அற்புத இயேசு டிவிக்காக நெல்சன் ஆண்டனி ஜோக்கியம். தேங்க்யூ.